High Admiral Vesthorax of the Dominion Fleet adjusted the neural interface that connected her consciousness to the Bridge of the Eternal Mandate, flagship of the most powerful armada in galactic history. Around her, holographic displays showed the tactical situation at Sol, one small blue planet, defended by what their sensors identified as primitive fusion-powered vessels and orbital platforms that wouldn't have been impressive 3 centuries ago. "Pathetic," she murmured, her 4 eyes scanning the data streams. The Galactic Dominion had conquered 847 star systems without losing a single engagement. Earth would be 848. The Dominion Council had been generous, really. They had offered humanity the standard terms: submit to galactic governance, surrender 70% of their resources, and accept permanent junior status in the cosmic hierarchy. When the humans had politely declined, military action became inevitable. "Admiral," her tactical officer reported, "human vessels are maintaining defensive formation around their moon. No signs of retreat or surrender. Their technology appears to be exactly what our advanced scouts reported, nothing that could threaten our shields." Vesthorax nodded. The Dominion fleet consisted of 47 dreadnoughts, each capable of cracking a planet's crust, supported by 300 escort vessels with firepower that had reduced entire civilizations to ash. Against this force, the humans had managed to field perhaps 50 ships of questionable combat effectiveness. "Begin the demonstration," she ordered. "Target their largest defensive platform. 1 shot. Let them see what resistance earns them." The Eternal Mandate's primary weapon charged with a sound like reality tearing. A beam of concentrated dark energy lanced across space, striking the human platform dead center. When the energy dissipated, nothing remained but scattered debris. Broadcast on all frequencies, Vesthorax commanded. "This is your final warning. Surrender now, or—" Her words were cut off by an impossible sensor reading. "Admiral," her sensor operator's voice carried a note of confusion. "I'm detecting a massive gravity signature emerging from behind the human moon. Something large." The tactical display updated, and Vesthorax felt her blood chill. Rising from the dark side of Earth's moon was a structure so vast that her mind initially refused to process its scale. It dwarfed her entire fleet. It dwarfed moons she had seen. The thing emerging from lunar shadow was roughly cylindrical, stretching nearly 1,000 kilometers from bow to stern, its hull bristling with what looked like launch bays and weapon emplacements. "That's impossible," she breathed. "Our scouts surveyed this system for months. There was nothing." "Admiral," the communications officer interrupted, "we're receiving a transmission from the human vessel. Audio and visual." The hologram that appeared showed a middle-aged human male in a crisp naval uniform, standing on what appeared to be a vast bridge with Earth visible through massive viewports behind him. "Admiral Vesthorax," the human said calmly, "I am Fleet Admiral Chen Zhang, commanding the UEUS Terra's Shield. I believe you've just discovered why Earth declined your generous offer." Vesthorax stared at the human's calm expression, then at the impossible ship that continued to emerge from lunar shadow. "Your scouts reported no such vessel. Our sensors detected no construction, no resource movement that could account for." "That's because we didn't build her," Admiral Zhang interrupted. "We found her." Captain Elena Rodriguez felt the familiar vibration through the Terra's shield's hull as the massive ship completed its emergence from the lunar construction facility that had hidden it for 6 years. Around her, the bridge crew worked with the precise efficiency of people who had trained for this moment since childhood. "All systems green," reported her engineering officer. "Gravitational drives online. Defense grids active. Fighter complement ready for launch." Elena nodded, watching the Dominion fleet's formation begin to shift in response to their appearance. She could only imagine what was going through their admiral's mind right now. 6 years ago, human deep space sensors had detected the wreck drifting in the outer system, a ship of clearly alien origin, damaged but not destroyed, apparently abandoned for millennia. The technology inside had been beyond anything humanity had imagined possible: gravitational manipulation, energy fields that could reshape matter at the molecular level, weapons systems that tapped directly into quantum vacuum fluctuations. More importantly, they had found the ship's logs. The Terra's shield had once been called Hope's Last Stand, flagship of a civilization that had faced the same choice humanity now confronted: submit to the Dominion or be destroyed. They had chosen to fight, and they had lost. But before their final defeat, they had managed to damage their own flagship enough that the Dominion had written it off as a total loss, leaving it to drift in the void. The previous owners had been annihilated 3,000 years ago. Their name was lost, their worlds were now Dominion colonies, and their resistance had been forgotten by everyone except the ship's memory banks. Admiral Zhang, Elena called to the fleet commander. "We're receiving multiple targeting logs from the Dominion vessels. They're preparing to engage." Admiral Zhang's response came over the ship's communication system, broadcast simultaneously to the Dominion fleet. "Admiral Vesthorax, allow me to clarify something. When we said we found this ship, we meant we found it along with its complete technical database, including detailed specifications for every Dominion vessel class in your fleet." On the tactical display, Elena watched the Dominion formation falter. Their ships were powerful, certainly, but they were also 3,000 years old in design, built to the same specifications that the Terra's shield had been designed to counter. "We know exactly how your shields work," Admiral Zhang continued. "We know the frequency harmonics that will cause your hulls to resonate until they tear themselves apart. We know the precise energy signature that will overload your weapon systems. Most importantly, we know that you've spent so long conquering inferior civilizations that you've forgotten how to fight an equal." Vesthorax's voice crackled across the communication channel, strained with disbelief. "One ship? You have one ship against an entire fleet?" "Actually," Admiral Zhang replied, "we have 5. Elena smiled as her sensors detected the other supercarriers emerging from concealment around the system. Humanity's defiance from behind Mars, never again from the asteroid belt, last resort and final answer from positions that would cut off any Dominion retreat. Each ship was a rebuilt version of Terra's shield, constructed in secret using the alien technology they had reverse-engineered. Each carried enough firepower to sterilize a star system, operated by crews who had spent years studying the tactical records of civilizations that had faced the Dominion and lost. This time, however, the outcome would be different. "You have one chance," Admiral Zhang transmitted. "Withdraw from this system immediately and inform the Dominion Council that Earth is under the protection of powers they do not understand. Or stay and learn why the original owners of these ships chose death over submission." The silence stretched for nearly a minute before Vesthorax gave the order to retreat. As the Dominion fleet jumped to hyperspace, Elena looked out at the stars and wondered how many other civilizations might have hidden such gifts, waiting for someone desperate enough to use them. The galaxy, she realized, was about to become a very different place.